Secret friends, unite!
Hey, Secret Friends. Welcome back to Secret Friends Unite. This is episode 550 of what is now called Oops! All Thunderdome. It's our topic-based show where we're talking about one single solitary thing. We cut away all the noise. And we're talking about something fun. I am joined this week by regular network contributor and overall great lady, Joe Colton. Joe, how are you?
Hi, everybody. Hi. I am so excited to be back.
Yes, and you have with the fancy new headset,
Yes,
which I like very much.
I am wearing the costume, but we're not visual, so
I know,
it's literally just for you.
It is. Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, I'm absolutely taking it in. You get the theater of the mind. You can just, Joe looks a little bit like our hero Lucy. So just picture it because we're talking about the first season of Fallout because the new season is coming back. I believe it's on December 16th. I'm saying that without looking it up. So we're going to get you 100% ready to jump into that show by talking about the first season here. Let me get a little housekeeping out of the way.
Sure.
Want to give a plug. And again, we're in early December, so it's a great time to hop on over to patreon.com/secretfriendsunite and check out our Patreon. You can even give a gift membership to anybody in your family who enjoys our content and would like a little bit more. We do have exclusive programs, early shows, and a Discord channel just for our Patreons. Your first week is free, half off your first month, and stay on board for as little as $2 a month. But again, you can gift that at a link which was provided on our social media this week, but you can also just jump over and check that out. Again, Secret Friends, patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Secondly, want to talk about my great friends at Argos Bookstore here in Metro Grand Rapids. If you are here in West Michigan, I've been going to the shop since I was 10 years old, since the 1980s, the long, long time ago. The shop's been around since 1985, one of the oldest shops, both of books and of comics in all of Michigan. It's been owned since 2022 by my friends Crystal and Roger. They've done some great things to transform it around. You can join their Argonauts Club, which saves you 10% on polls when you grab 5 or more monthly comic books a month. They're also actively buying collections of books or comics. Give them a shout at 616-454-0111 or Facebook, Instagram, or Google. You can find them and let them know you heard about them on Secret Friends Unite. All right, housekeeping out of the way. Let's talk about Fallout. My goodness, and I got to tell you, the show absolutely took me by storm. It falls into a genre that I love, which is a post-apocalyptic drama. Dropped in April of last year, which would be April 10th of 2024. 8 episodes came out in a single day. Now, it's my understanding that the new format, like Prime woke up and smelled the coffee and thought, if you release it every week, maybe people will stay subscribed. Although, Joe, you tell me, how many people do you know don't have Amazon Prime? Like, I have Amazon Prime because I love the shipping and stuff. Like, it's like most people, right?
Yeah, I think every single person I know except one has none. And that one is because, like, my wife's got it and it never comes in on time, so why have Prime? And I'm like, but you get so much with it.
There's so much stuff. It's like, well, we're really slaves to it because, like this morning, April was like, "Oh God, we're out of coffee." Beep bop, poop, and we get it because it's another week until the subscribe and save we had already said. Not that I'm trying to pump up Prime because Bezos isn't sending me any money or sending me to the moon,
right.
So I'm not all about that. But anyway, all 8 episodes came out back in April of 2024. Now this is based on a video game franchise that goes back to the 90s, even before it was a video game franchise. It was like a board game or something like that. If I remember correctly.
I think it was a board game. I remember it as a video game. So.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's probably how most people remember it. But created by Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky, the series is set 2 centuries after a great war, which happens in 2027. Which society collapses following a big nuclear holocaust? Big fun for everyone, without a doubt.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope we're not headed that way right now. But anyway, the series stars Ella Purnell, who's fantastic. Again, a Star Trek tie, because she was in Star Trek Prodigy, the animated series. Aaron Moten, Kyle MacLachlan, who I've always loved. Moises Aris, Zelia Mendez-Jones, and my hero, Wally Goggs, a.k.a. Walton Goggins. Absolutely fantastic character actor. Oh, my God. The show received generally positive reviews, praise from the performances and writing, visuals, production design, faithfulness to the source material, which is always a challenge when you get a TV adaptation. Yeah. Nominated for 17 primetime Emmys. That's a big number.
Yeah.
Including outstanding drama series.
Especially for a streaming.
Yeah,
a streaming show.
I mean, as evidence is a big transformation in really the industry as a whole. But yeah, awards nominated for including outstanding drama series and outstanding lead actor in a drama series for Goggins, but of course. So, so that's all the particulars. So let's get into it. Like Joe, this was, when I started this new format of the show, I said, hey, looking at the last end of this, like, what are you excited that's coming up? And you said this show. Tell me why you wanted to talk about the show. Tell me.
So I, like you, was like captivated. First of all, the lead characters, Ella and Walton Goggins, are phenomenal. Like, she plays Lucy really well and very relatable as an individual who's like never left underground. She is like naive, thinks everything is like so peaceful and everyone's going to be nice, and she quickly realizes that's not the case, but also adapts. That was the surprising thing. Like, even though she is like very naive and inexperienced about actual life, not this like
not the cousin loving, which is what I wrote in my notes.
Yes, with the fake son in underground and the fake marriages and like all this other weird stuff.
Oh my God.
But she quickly, like very quickly, adapts to her surroundings and is like a woman on a mission. And she also like is able to ask for help, but also like is tough when she needs to be. And like, the only thing that is amusing to me is that she thinks with one act of kindness she can change the world, which is like like, I'm jaded now, right? Like, most of us are jaded. It's a lovely thought,
right?
But like, yes, if one person does something, maybe the next person it'll be a domino effect. But like, real life doesn't necessarily work like that.
No,
so,
are you serious? My 50 years on Earth, I haven't really picked up on that. So, yeah, totally.
And on the flip side, you have Goggins, right? Goggins' character, the ghoul, who is jaded to the max and has lived life and been buried.
Right. Yeah. The whole first component in the first couple episodes is that a couple of so again, we're past, we live in kind of this neo-noir future between what feels like the 1950s to like about 50 years from now, that it seems like the Cold War has just endured, and in a disturbing parallel to where we're living right now, corporations rule the world, and they're sitting around figuring out, how can we make more money, and blah, blah, blah. And then the end of it. And again, let's keep in mind, this is a completely spoiler-filled discussion. You've had 18 months to watch the show. So hopefully you have. But at the end of the day, you have a boardroom full of corporate assholes sitting around saying, how can we make more money? And in the end, Walton Goggins' wife, who is a corporate big mucky-muck, says, I bet if we drop the bomb, we could finally get these vaults totally locked up. Because again, she's in charge of this company called Vault Tech, which is building all these underground vaults, like a string of like 200 of them across the United States to protect people from the fallout, which she then elects to cause. So they're like, well, we really got to ramp up sales and really get things into motion. And that's how she does it. And we learned that really right at the end, because the series is told in present day, which is the end of, I think, the 23rd century. Big change from Star Trek, right?
Right.
Because in the 23rd century, we got Captain Kirk and Spock out in space, and then we got this, which is like not that. But yeah, we learned that back in 2077, his wife, who is the muckety muck of this Vault-Tec, saying, "Well, we're getting really close, but we need that extra nudge. We really want to make those bucks to really get all that. What can we do to get this in motion? It looks like people might want to be peaceful and not launch nukes, and we got to find a way to do it." So she elects to, because the corporations control the government. Boy, that's not disturbing or at all relatable to what's going on in this country right now, or the world in general. So the overall effect of looking at what this looks like compared to what we're living right now is maybe a little too on the nose.
Yes. So, but I liked I like the two lead characters very much, and I like the side stories of the different factions. We haven't seen all the factions yet,
right?
But I'm like the Brotherhood is like so anti technology and very like armored and very like we need to capture all these artifacts so nobody gets them, but we use them as weapons. Like it's so like
it's exactly what you were
like Mad Max.
Yeah, it's what you would expect when society collapsed, and they're like, "Oh God, we can do it better now that since society is so corrupt and so decadent, and now we're going to take it over." And let's face it, if anything, like any apocalyptic anything you watch, The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, the real danger is the fact that people, now that everything's falling apart, I'm sure we can do it better, and they do the exact same shit. It's always people killing people to get resources, and people want power, so you have warlords, and it's all we've got. It's it's very on brand for humanity. Let's face it.
It's not like you would have like. It's almost like in the Tron movie that we talked about, like Encom versus the bad guy. It's always going to be like the bad guy trying to muscle his way, and then like the little guy is like always the underdog to get good. Like it's like,
oh my God. Absolutely correct. Oh my God. All right. Well, let's go through it. Let's break down kind of the components of it. Let's have beyond what we've talked about, some favorite moments and some moments that made you go, "Oh boy, we could have done without that."
Okay. Okay. What? Okay. How do you want to? Where do you want to start?
Jump in. Anything you want. It doesn't have to be linear. We'll go total emissary of the prophets on this. It's non-linear.
Okay, so favorite part, I would say, is when Lucy saves the ghoul. And she kills all of the feral ghoul type or the zombies that are like locked in fridges. In the supermarket.
That was one of mine too, because they go into the supermarket, and this is episode like 5 or 6.
6, yeah.
And Wally Goggs has captured Lucy, and he's shuffling her off. Yeah. Oh, he has an attack, so he passes out. So she runs off, but she ends up in this supermarket.
Yeah, he cuts her finger off.
Yeah, he cuts her finger off, which is she finds herself another finger. So she's got this like gnarly finger, but she runs into this robot who she's like, "Oh God, thank God, I needed some help." And he's like, "All right, it's cool." And he says, "I'm just going to harvest your organs out." And it's the voice of, it's Snip Snip, which is the voice of Matt Berry. And if you don't know who Matt Berry is, it started with a great British show called The IT Crowd back in the early 2000s. If you've never seen it, watch it. Because he's the main character. Chris O'Dowd is the main character. It's absolutely terrific. But he's also in that What We Do in the Shadows about the vampires. You know the show that I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah. Who's in that?
I think he's the main guy. He's kind of short, longish hair, black beard. Ringing a bell?
Short guy. It's not Guillermo, is it? It's not Guillermo.
No.
I'll have to look it up.
I haven't watched that much of that show. Yeah, Google it. But he's a fantastic performer. But I love that. But yeah, exactly. No, I love that scene. I love that whole sequence. He phrased it. Yeah, and all the ghouls run, and it's a supermarket, so they're not even a freezer. It's the merchandiser that you open the door and like, "Oh, I got some ice cream," and it says a friggin' zombie like, "Rawr, rawr,
yeah."
What else you got?
I don't like the gore stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like, one of my favorite parts to not like is when she had to cut off the guy from Lost, the creepy looking guy.
Oh,
His
Michael
head.
Emerson. Yeah.
Yes, his head. I was like, bah.
And they don't get rid
Not a
because they
fan.
have to log it around, and then that big like mutant fish thing eats it and spits it
Yes.
up, and they have to, because it
Yes.
has the chip in it that has the nuclear fusion thing. That's the MacGuffin
Yes.
of the whole deal that they finally get at the end.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
did feel bad. So one of my other favorite parts, but in a sad way, is that at the end of the season, she sees her mom is still quote
Oh, yeah.
alive, and
And
only
after,
with the necklace, like the pendant on her
right,
necklace,
and
does
after,
she.
yeah, and
And then
after
it's
having been told that she was this big hero
dead.
and blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that she realizes that the bad guy is not the bad guy of the season. It was actually her dad who was the bad guy.
Right, and
Who,
you find out, and that's what her
yeah.
brother, who is the kind of the little weasel guy in the vault that she came from, discovers that everyone who I love that, and again, I clipped this, and I should drop this in the flow of our podcast. I'll look for it there, but the recap video that I watched, the Vault-Tec Corporation froze like dozens of people as super
Mhm.
managers to
Yeah.
basically and then they would defrost one every so often to be like,
Mhm.
this guy's going to be in charge. And they did that with her dad because he was kind of a low level functionary back in the day, but they're like, well, we'll freeze all of anybody in the building in 77 when we drop the bombs, we'll freeze them, and then on the schedule we'll drop them, and then they can be in charge because they're done with the philosophy or whatever. It's like, God, it's just so close to what reality would be if
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
totally, yeah. Also, like I'm not a fan of the cousin marrying or forcing the guy to wed her.
Cousin loving. Yeah.
Cousin love, like that is, it's very gross, but it is also like that would happen if you're
Well, yeah,
running
because
out of people.
well, you thin down the gene pool. If that's what I wrote about. Lucy was talking about settling down, but she said she makes some deal about like not just cousin stuff. Like she's talking to her cousin. She's obviously fucked him. I mean, you get a vibe because again, so it's just like, oh, but you're right. It's absolutely like, what else would it be like, right? Because that's an important storm, right?
There'd have to be a person, like, you know how the monarchy tracks like lineage, like
the royal family,
like, not not crossbreed to have like
right.
a lot of inbreeding. Like that sounds
Right.
so weird to me, but like, God, there'd have to be a person who just like tracks that.
Whatever. I felt like there was a ton of great cameos. Like we had Michael Rappaport, who's a great actor from the 90s. He was kind of like the douchebag knight who eventually our main character just like, well, I have a chance to save him, but I think I won't because he's an asshole, and just lets him die off. Chris Parnell from SNL, who I've always loved. Eric Estrada, who was Ponch from Chips.
Yes.
There was episode 7, and Fred Armisen again from SNL. I always look on the lookout for SNL people because I'm such an SNL guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the radio operator in that. The lookbacks throughout the season were a big hit for me. I love seeing the evolution and scary evolution of the fact that this is exactly something that could happen in the United States in this day and age.
Yeah.
Corporations nudging ever closer to figuring out that, well, if we blew up everybody and drove them underground, then we could find a way to get all the money, even if we have to nuke the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like somebody somewhere will think that's a great idea. And again, it all spawns from the end of, kind of where you look at parallel worlds. If you look at like, the MCU or Star Trek or whatever, when time frames diverge. So think about our 1950s and all social progress kind of stopping there and just having the Cold War just keep raging, and the USSR survives and we keep fighting for another 100 years after that, but nothing really changes. Like they're still watching Howdy Doody on the little black and white TV, and that whole, it was in the first or the second episode where he's holding his teenage daughter and explaining the thumb, like, well, if you hold your thumb up and the cloud's not bigger than that, you're good, but if it's bigger than that, you're fucked. So it was a whole whole deal about it. But yeah, I wrote, that's one thing, the round table that they're having in that last episode. I did love one of the companies at the table was called Robbit.
I missed that. That's great.
Oh my God. So, finding out that Wally Goggins' name is Cooper the Ghoul, as we know, that his wife was, she's the Doctor Doom of the scenario.
Yeah.
She's the big bad who said, well, what if we just launch the nukes ourselves? That'll be fine.
It'll be interesting to see if his kid is still alive and if she's
you're right.
frozen.
You're right, because everybody gets frozen or they otherwise get an injection, but
it was with him when the first atomic bomb went off, right?
Right.
Measuring it with her thumb, and then he got on the horse and ran away with her. So did she make it? Not that's.
I don't know if this, and again, what's your experience with the games? Like, I'm not much of a gamer, but have you dabbled with the games?
No, I like the playthroughs, to watch. I don't actually.
That's what I do too.
Yes, because I take the controller and run with it around the room, or I'll sit next to Wes and be like, "Oh, you should go here," and he's like, "How did you know that?" I'm like, "I am really good at picking things out. I am not good.
Use the force.
Use the force. I am not good.
I'm seeing ahead of it. Midichlorians.
The fingering. No.
Whoa, hello. Okay.
I don't do the controllers well. I can only assist as a helper.
Yes, the helper. Yeah, I know I cut April loose playing The Last of Us because it's a one-player game. And she got jammed at one place and she was like, yeah, I'm done. I can't get past this one level. So I'm like, let's watch the cutscene. I love cutscene movies. I've talked about this on other episodes of our pods, like the Star Wars ones, like Battlefront 2 or the Jedi Survivor. Love it. But playing the game, what's the point? I'd like to see the story. And in Star Wars in particular, they're all canonical. So that kind of influences you on
I do
other
appreciate
parts
that.
of the trilogy. So I like that. So I love that the juxtaposition of the episode naming. So the first episode was the end and the last episode was the beginning, because that's really how it was, because he saw the end with that nuclear detonation. In the beginning, you saw why he saw that detonation, which was his bitch wife, damn it.
Yes.
All right. So anything that you feel like was like a missed opportunity. And again, you and I are
no, go ahead. You and I.
No, I was going to. You and I are coming from a great vantage point that we've not played the game, so we could say, "Oh, I really feel like they missed out on this," but there could be more to come. So go ahead, please.
I was going to say I didn't something that they missed out on. No, not that I think they missed out on, but I think that they should have, and they might cover this in the second season. But the big bad at the the lady that Lee, whatever her name is, Lee. Oh, what's the lady that she's
the lady who dies?
Yeah,
her. Was it Moldover? That's what I got.
Yes, Moldover. Yeah. Lee Moldover. I feel like there should have been more story about her.
Right. Yeah, because that's right. Because she was the counter-revolutionary, and then she ends up being the big bad. So it's like, why? But then she's dead.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, so you see her in flashbacks in a suit going to a community meeting to be questioning things, and then the next thing you see her is coming into the vault and stealing the dad, Cooper.
Right.
Cooper Hank or whatever his name is.
Cal McLaughlin, the Twin Peaks guy.
Yeah. And then you see her, I guess, kind of, not really. And then at the end, she just dies. And you're like, how did we get from questioning all of these things that are happening before the bomb
to being the bad guy? Yeah.
To being this okay, you get that she's the resistance, but how did she survive? How did she find Lucy's mom? It's insinuated that they were in a relationship, okay? But how did that come about? Where did they meet? How did she survive the 70 years or whatever, and not age was the other thing, right?
Right.
He was in cryo. Where the heck was she?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that's my missed opportunity. Are we going to discuss what I didn't like, or are we waiting?
Jump on into it, please.
So I didn't like Maximus.
That's okay. Tell me.
I guess because I really liked the ghoul and he's like this badass character who's like not giving up. And like then there's like the wimp guy, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything as the porta potty cleaner guy or the cleaner, the janitor. He then accidentally becomes like a squire, and then after that he then cowardly steals the mech suit, and then he cowardly does like all these things until Lucy comes along, and even then he's like, why don't we just stay here in Vault 4? It's pretty nice. Why do you want to keep
eating my chips
going?
and I'm watching reruns of Everybody Loves Raymond or whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah. And like, it's fine. We could just ignore what's wrong in Vault 4. Like, he's like the coward that like she has to force to like, I don't know.
He's a lazy husband. Go clean it. Go mow the lawn. Go rake the leaves.
Why can't you rake? Can you rake the leaves for me? I don't know what a raking the leaf is.
Right.
Like,
what's a rake? I'm not from your world. I don't know what a rake is.
Right.
Yeah,
which is
he is.
So stupid because he's living outside of this euphoric, like.
Right. They don't have leaves down in the vaults. No trees. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So maybe that's why he doesn't know.
Yeah. So how are you weaker than the inexperienced, naive girl?
Right. Because she's a fucking boss. That's why. Clearly. So cool. All right. So what are we looking forward to in season 2? Ooh. What's like your top couple things?
Okay. Goggins and her going to Vegas, which is apparently how the next game starts. Like one of the games starts like that. So I'm looking forward to
Fallen Vegas or whatever.
Yes, Fallout Vegas. I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to surprise guests.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I'm looking forward to the evolution of the relationship or the partnership between Ella and the ghoul.
Yeah, totally.
Or Lucy and the ghoul. And then I'm looking forward to seeing her brother's choices.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What does he do with the information he found? Because we don't know.
Because that little man in the machine with the legs.
Was that a voice of someone famous? I didn't look it up. I can't remember now.
I can't remember if it was a voice of somebody famous, but it was the main boss. It was like the wife's boss who was in that little machine.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Is he going to be in...
Reminds you of the heads in the jars and like Futurama. Like, here's Richard Nixon. And
Yes. So I'm thinking, I was like, so he has one of two choices, right? He either joins forces with this head in the machine, or
wasn't that a Police album? Head in the Machine? No, I know it was.
Or he tells the machine to F off, and he somehow escapes that vault.
Right.
Because they're in 31, is it?
Yeah, 31 is where everybody's frozen, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. What are you looking forward to?
I just want more world building and more fucking crazy critters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love, fishes with like 40 eyes and all kinds of different shit. And the stuff that we saw in the trailer, because there's a trailer out there.
Yeah.
If we hit, yeah. So there's a trailer out there. It's easy to find on YouTube. That's where I find anything everywhere. But yeah, I'm just looking for kind of more craziness. And I would love to see more background. I think, Moldaver is a great example. They didn't kill her off, but keep that momentum going because, like in comics, does anybody really stay dead? And plus, in this world, somebody could have snuck up behind her and gone, "Here's an injection," boop, and then turned her into a ghoul or whatever, and she could still be kicking around because that's what they did with the Weasley guy who smashed his foot. And the one guy, there's another stand-up comedian whose name I can't remember, John something, who was the guy in the hat was like, "Here you go," and it heals his foot, and I'm like, I'm a weasel. I'm a ghoul now.
Yeah.
So anybody can be revived if they get a shot of this thing, but they don't get, it's an inoculation. If you don't get it on a regular basis, you go nuts.
The lost guy who had to get his foot cut off and a new like amputated foot, but it was like heavy as
right.
Yep. I was like, heavy as F word, but I don't know if we can swear. But
No, I've been swearing. What are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah, it was.
If we don't have an adult audience, I'd be shocked. Who wants to listen to us? Holy crap!
Yes, heavy as fuck for him to walk because he was getting exhausted from like walking on that metal thing and bleeding out. Remember, like, I don't know if you remember, like, they sawed off his leg.
Ouch.
Like, Lucy had to help him across, like, most of the desert. And I was like, this isn't going to go well.
And you know what she says to that? Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Yep.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So to wrap it up, if you were to give this a rating out of 10, where do you land?
The show?
The show. The season.
The season. I would give it a 9, a 9.2. 9.2.
9. Oh, sometimes I get that fractional. I just went with a 9, because again, you and I are coming from the same place.
Yeah.
We don't play the game. We don't have this like steeped background. Like, well, they didn't get that right. Like if it was a Star Trek, like we'll be bitching about, well, they didn't fucking, we'll be bitching about, in a couple of months, we'll be bitching about that. When Starfleet Academy comes along, we're on the cruise and we're talking about it.
Yes.
I evaluate it from the point of the story, and I love great stories, and it was great casting. Pacing seemed on point, the world building. And again, I've been, going down a bit of a rabbit hole watching different like YouTube videos like, well, here's the other cities, like here's Chicago, here's other states, here's Illinois, here's New Jersey, so you're kind of seeing what else is going on.
I love the call outs to the game, like the signs, the Coca-Cola, like all these little things that you can see. I appreciate that. So
that was my first experience with a game. And this was like 10 years ago when my son was a teenager, is he had he got a bottle cap at a Comic-Con, or he had like the poster of like the guy. And I'm like, what the hell is Fallout? And he must have played the game on the Xbox or something. But yeah, I'm really psyched about this. So this comes along again. This episode is dropping in early December, mid-December. I think it's November 17th. 17th. Check your local listings. But I did read an article recently that was pretty explicit that this is a weekly drop.
Yes.
So, Prime woke up and smelled the bacon, because they do weird things. Like I've watched a lot of their shows where like Jack Reacher, for example, here's 3 episodes, here's 2, here's 1, here's 3, here's 2, so they're going to stick to, if it's 10 episodes, this is going to be a 10-week window. So the way this is going to work is that, we'll come back, and I think Peter, who's my other co-host, will join us. So the 3 of us will talk about the first episode. We'll give first reactions. We'll wait, and then when it's over, we'll come back and talk about it as a whole, kind of like in this.
Yeah.
segment.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do it
that way.
So
leave like an hour. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. So we need an hour.
We'll leave an hour for that last. So we're going to absolutely. Yeah. All right. So Joe, that's awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Love having you on board. You're a super busy person, so I love having you on board. And
I love it.
We will pick out our next project sooner rather than later. But where do people find you on the internet?
On Instagram and TikTok, if I post there. And Facebook, it's Joe Colton. And then BlueSky, it's Joe Colton. Or Joe Colton Cosplay. On all platforms is Joe Colton Cosplay. Yeah.
Excellent. I will put those links in the show notes. And of course, you can find me personally as at the C3 THECEETHRE on all the big socials. I stay away from X, but also Secret Friends Unite, both on YouTube and on TikTok. I post several times a week, shorts, 3 minutes or less, just talk about things that I'm enjoying. Please check it out, like and subscribe. Also on our YouTube channel, exclusively, you can see videos of our Spotlight segment where we talk to celebrities. We've got a couple of really great ones coming up, so we'd love to have you on board there. But with that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to tell you always that sharing is caring, and to keep on trucking.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on Threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.
Hey, Secret Friends Nation, thanks for sticking around after the credits, or if you're watching us on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. I am joined by a friend of the show, super great guy who has been on with us many, many times before. This is actor and, dare I say, philanthropist, Mr. John Billingsley, who was the wonderful Dr. Phlox on Star Trek Enterprise, as well as a number of other things. John, it is always awesome to see you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I think you have to be able to write checks with more zeros than I'm comfortable writing to actually be a philanthropist. Do-gooder, I'll take that. How about
Do
that?
good. Oh boy, it sounds like it should be on the old Batman show. Oh, do-gooder fighting the Joker.
Yeah.
Well, John, I wanted to slide you in here because we got some crazy stuff going on in the country these days. We're just getting off a government shutdown where SNAP benefits were pinched. We're also getting into the holiday seasons where the holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas in this case, where things can traditionally get tight for a lot of people. So I wanted to have you on to talk a little bit about the great work that you do with the Hollywood Food Coalition out there in Greater Los Angeles and how people can help.
Terrific. Well, I'll tell you a bit about the Hollywood Food Coalition, and this will be bifurcated because I've always been a great believer that while I work for and represent a charity that I have great faith in and believe does wonderful things, it's just as important, maybe even more important, to think about if you have the impulse to give to us, but you think, maybe I should look closer to home. Fine, do that. I will say that hunger and need and want in this country is sadly only getting worse. 1 in 5 kids in America is food insecure. Some 40% of Americans, if they were hit with an unexpected $400 to $500 bill, their roof caves in, their car is repossessed, wouldn't have the money in the bank account to pay it. There are a limited number of soup kitchens and food rescue organizations in the country. We do something that is very dear to my heart at the Hollywood Food Coalition. We serve a hot meal to all comers 7 nights a week, no questions asked, always providing choice, always providing dignity of service. And we also offer an array of other services to people who come through our doors. We try and, in essence, sort of provide a kind of a soup to nuts experience. If you want your bicycle tire repair, we've got medical vans. If you want some housing assistance, if you want some kind of referrals to other social service agencies, we very much believe in coalition building through the medium of food. And additionally, we rescue somewhere around 2.5 to 3 million pounds of food a year to share with other not-for-profits, basically to augment and buttress their meal programs. So think about a battered women's shelter that does great work, but may not provide 3 squares a day. Right. We're trying to say, small not-for-profits doing great work, tell us what we can do to help make sure you're feeding the people who come to you for service as best you can. And additionally, every Sunday, we have a wonderful program that we have created with a lot of marvelous people in the community, families, church groups, and schools. We have dropped off at our premises, in essence, every Sunday, somewhere around 3,000 bag lunches. And we make sure those lunches get distributed through some of our community partners all over the city, primarily to people living in homeless encampments. Just a slice of what we do at the Hollywood Food Coalition.
That's fantastic. And so if people want to donate, if they're local and they want to get involved, or if you're not local like myself, I live on the other side of the country, how can they help? Where do they go? Where do they go online to provide assistance?
Easiest thing to do is to go to hofoco.org. Go to our website, and you can, if you live in Los Angeles and you'd be interested in getting involved, you can sign up to cook, you can sign up to serve, you can sign up to pull a shift in our warehouse space and help unload the food that arrives, sort it, cull it, store it, and get it out the door to some of the recipient organizations. And on Sunday, you can help our sandwich distribution program. And you can also donate there at our donation platform. But I also really want to encourage you to consider it, although I think, in a way, where you choose to give $1, it's not so much about the geography, because $1 you give in Portland or Seattle or Los Angeles is still helping people. Right. So if this is an organization, the mission appeals to you, you are helping some wonderful people in need. But if you feel you want to work locally, I would only say, look around and see what's in your neighborhood, what's in your city, what's in your community, an organization that is working on the ground with people in need. And that could be folks who are experiencing hunger. It could be folks who need legal assistance these days. That's obviously something that's pretty important. It could be teaching a kid to read. There's a lot of ways you can give back to your community. This happens to be mine. I'm very passionate about it. But in the holiday season, it's mostly about rolling up your sleeves.
Right. That's fantastic. And as I said, I promised a quick message. So this has been fantastic, Con. It's great to see you. Hofoco.org. That's HOFO. Oh, I just lost it.
You got it. HOFOCO, Hollywood Food Coalition. Hofoco. And it's
Ho. Oh. All right, John, I will see you in the near future. Happy holidays to all, and thanks for spending this extra time listening.
Thank you.
We'll see you
Joe,
soon.
so much. Appreciate it.